and welcome to Reality TV Going On. I'm one of your hosts, Delia, here with my real tight homegirl and my daughter-in-law, Beatrice.
Hello.
We are here to talk stinky, cringy, polycule, polyfamily.
Yeah.
We are, and we just want to warn you, we are 1 week behind. So if you're watching this show, you have already seen episode 3 by the time this comes out. But we're only on episode 2. We're slow. Yep. We're catching up. Bear with us.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into our recap, we do have to tell you to please hide your wife and hide your kids. This is a politically incorrect podcast. We say stupid things. We have dumb opinions. Yep. And sometimes we yell and we swear.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so if you're so...
Go away, you diaper baby.
You might want to find yourself another dumpster.
Smell you later.
But if you're ready to do some do-it-yourself lactation, welcome to this dumpster.
And if you like what we do over here, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at Reality TV Cringe and join us on Patreon, patreon.com/realitytvcringe. We have lots of like uncensored after shows. Yeah. We have ad-free content. If you're sick of all these freaking ads, go to Patreon. It's the best way to support us.
It's only $5 a month. Yeah. And it really does help.
Cheap. Yeah.
Now, if you are watching on YouTube, please do not forget to like and comment and share and subscribe, because every little thing you do helps us in the algo, baby.
Yeah.
And the more you help us, the higher we climb to 6,000 subscribers.
It's a slow crawl.
So thank you in advance.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are on season 1, episode 2 of Polyfamily, entitled
Polly Wants a Baby.
Polly Wants a Baby. Taya has given birth. She pushed out a whole Quentin.
Well, she didn't push it out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She had a C-section.
She did have a C-section.
Yeah.
They cut out a whole Quentin.
Yeah.
And the 3 other weirdos were in the room when it happened.
And she was so worried that in the very progressive state of Oregon, they wouldn't be allowed to come in the room. And I'm like, it's Oregon.
Can I just say, and no offense to you as a native Oregonian, and no offense to anybody else who might be from Oregon or the Pacific Northwest, but like every single person on this week's episode, which is last week's episode, is like an alternative person.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's the hairstyle, the hair color. Are
you trying to say something about me?
The clothing. I mean, the whole thing. I'm just like, what's going on out there? People are having fun in Oregon.
Keep Portland weird.
There you go.
That's where Portland is.
I'm not judging. I'm just like, but compare and contrast with like Texas.
That's my people.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a little different.
It is. It's a lot different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially where they're at, you know, in between Salem and Eugene. Trash.
Okay. It looked pretty developed at the hospital and stuff.
Yeah. It's all for looks. It's all smoke show.
Oh, okay.
We had a lot of people comment on last week's episode being like, yeah, Lebanon is ugly. It's
is
trash.
It? Really?
Yeah. And Albany is even worse. Yeah.
Well, so I've been to Portland and I thought it was absolutely stunning.
Yeah. Where did you go? When did you go, though?
Well, I was in Portland.
Yeah. When?
I mean, when did I go? That was 2004, 2003. Like I went to the Clackamas and I did like some fly.
That's where I was born.
I went to the Gorge place and it was beautiful.
Columbia River Gorge.
Waterfalls. I went out to eat at various restaurants. I went to that big bookstore. It was a whole lot of fun and I loved it.
Yeah.
Things have changed?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I thought it was awesome. So Lebanon, is Lebanon like mountainous or is it plains? Okay,
it's in middle of Oregon. Well, it's not in the middle of Oregon, but it's in between Eugene, Salem. So it's like kind of flat. You know, it's out of the valley. It's like there's some trees and stuff. But I mean, there's some like prettier places when you go outside of it. It's okay, but.
Well, I was reading on the subreddit Polyfamily that it's very liberal, obviously, in Portland. But like as soon as you get out into those outskirt towns and cities, it's actually very conservative. And they were saying that Lebanon is actually pretty conservative.
It's been a while since I've been in Oregon. Like I obviously live in Texas now, but like Lebanon and like those areas over there, pretty liberal, pretty progressive.
Oh, okay.
It's usually like when you get out into the eastern Oregon and stuff and like some of the country areas, then it's a little
okay.
Yeah, then it's a little bit more
red, if you will. Okay, I just don't know the topography, the geography, and the makeup of the peoples.
Yeah. Oregon is kind of a melting pot a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of weirdos. That's all I'm saying.
100%.
A lot of weirdos. But I'm a boomer, so I get to say it. Yeah. Well, start us off.
Well, we start off at the hospital. Taya got induced because she had complications from gestational diabetes. What?
Are we going to have an after show?
Yes.
Oh, gosh, we have to have an after show.
We do, because there's a lot of
Because there was a document that was released on TikTok and the Reddits about Sean. And so if you want to, so I'm only saying that because we have an after show, like you can reserve your commentary.
I wasn't going to make any comments.
I saw it on your face, but you can reserve that commentary for the after show.
Well,
thank you very much.
Taya had complications from gestational diabetes, so she was getting induced, and then the induction took way too long, so then they had to do a C-section, and baby Quentin was born. But according to Oregon state law, only Sean, who is Taya's legally married partner, is allowed to be on the birth certificate.
Sure.
Which is setting the stage for the rest of the episode, where we kind of find out the paternity of baby Quentin, and newsflash, doesn't look like Sean is the biological father of baby Quentin.
Looks like he's shooting blanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course, because look at him.
Yeah.
He's one giant blank himself.
Yes, he is. He is a blank. Yeah. He is.
And then it's 2 weeks after the birth, and Taya's very happy to not be pregnant anymore. I guess while she was pregnant, both the guys, Sean and Tyler, got vasectomies because Taya hated being pregnant. But I'm like, what about Alicia though?
Yeah, maybe Alicia wants to continue to have children. She clearly wants to lactate.
Yeah.
She clearly wants to nurse. Maybe she wants to have babies.
I know. And we get into that because I guess Taya's having a hard time like producing milk. Like her milk's taking a long time to come in, and she's having a hard time breastfeeding Quentin. And so Alicia's like, well, I've got boobies. Like, and they can produce milk. Like, they're still
theoretically.
Well, apparently she said they're still squirting out milk.
Really? It's just very bizarre to me because she had her baby Barrett.
Yeah.
The big old head Barrett.
Yeah.
Like 2.5 years previous. And so she nursed for 1 full year. And now she wants to get those puppies working again. And I think conceivably she can do that. Sure. And obviously we see her later in the episode using one of the pumps, and poor Sean has to touch her and seems revolted to do so, to massage one of her titties.
I know.
But like what this felt like to me, Beatrice, was Alicia trying to again find her position and place in the family. Like, well, what about me? Like, I could be a part of this family. Yeah. This baby could love me too, especially if I've got milk coming out of my boobies.
Yeah, especially if it's my husband's love child with Taya. Like, I'm sure she had like an ulterior motive to seek a lactation consultant. I mean, she also says that she wants to bond with baby Quentin because I guess when Barrett and Carver were born, because Carver is Taya's biological kid, Barrett is Alicia's biological kid, I guess they're 7 months apart. So Alicia was nursing Barrett, and she got to bond really heavily with Barrett because that's her biological child, and she didn't get to bond as heavily with Carver. I guess the two younger boys really bonded to their biological moms because biology.
That's nature.
Duh.
That's nature in the sciences.
Yes. And so Alicia is saying she wants to lactate and breastfeed baby Quentin because she really wants to be able to bond with him. She wants Quentin to bond with both moms. And Taya's actually in support of Alicia learning to breastfeed Quentin. Well, she is in the sense of like
to be supportive.
Yeah, in the sense that it'll help her.
Yeah, I don't even believe that she's actually supportive. I think probably she and Sean have talked about this because I think that this is being presented for the cameras. They've already had this discussion. Sean thinks it's gross for whatever reason. And so Taya is pretending to be like, oh my God, that would be so awesome if you could help me with the nursing. But doesn't actually support Alicia. I honestly feel like nobody cares about Alicia in that entire house. Not even her husband who married her.
No, he doesn't care at all because Taya gives him that sweet, sweet loving. And we had some comments last week of people saying that it was probably like Taya gives him like BDSM or something. Like she's probably like super, like maybe Tyler's a sub.
Oh, yeah, I can totally see that.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's a dom and she's submissive.
I don't know, maybe.
I don't know. But that does make more sense than what we went to in the after show.
We were getting kind of crazy last week.
In our theories.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the babies and whatever. So Alicia's gonna lactate and hopefully breastfeed.
I predict
Quentin.
she is not going to lactate.
Probably not. It's probably just a storyline. But then everyone in the family is kind of seeing or like observing baby Quentin's features, and he's got a cowlick. And he's got dimples, and the only other adult in the family that has that is Tyler. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of implying that Tyler is the biological father, and this upsets
Sean.
I was gonna be very derogatory, but like it upsets Sean because he doesn't want to know the paternity.
Well, you don't want to know the paternity because you already know that you're not the father, and you want to maintain control over all of these people who don't stand up to you.
Yep.
You want to have control over this child.
But I mean, he legally has control over him because he's on the birth certificate.
But that can be taken away with a paternity test and a lawsuit, which he knows. And so if it remains ambiguous, he can hold on to Taya and he can hold on to power.
Exactly. 100%. And then we have Tyler and Alicia going shopping for baby clothes.
I'm a Sonori.
And I just thought it was like such a weird dynamic because I'm like, you're shopping for your husband's like
love child.
Right. With his preferred partner. And like you're acting like you're happy about it, Alicia, but I don't think you're happy about it at all.
No.
I think you're dying inside.
Yeah.
And then they also talk about while they're shopping that they're going to set up a party, kind of like a sip and see for baby Quentin, where family and friends can come over and like meet the baby and like hang out or whatever. And we talk again about how Alicia's family is not supportive. I guess her dad is like totally no contact. Tyler's family, like his sister is like supportive kind of, but his mom is like not really supportive. I guess she like tolerates it, but she doesn't want to be in public support of it.
Right. She does what she needs to do to remain in contact with her grandchildren and her son, but like she doesn't really endorse the lifestyle. And she doesn't need to, but she's making choices in terms of like how much she wants to be around them because they're a bunch of freaking freaks. I wouldn't want to hang out in that house.
Right?
Around Sean.
No
and
way.
Taya. Absolutely not. You know a demon when you see a demon. If you got some light inside of you, you can recognize the devil. Sure. So his mom recognizes the devil. Now his sister.
Yeah.
Now I think I mentioned last week, although it might have been edited out, that Tyler's sister made a TikTok. At first, I thought it was Sean's sister.
Oh, yeah.
But it was actually Tyler's sister made a TikTok in which she talked about the alleged abuse allegations around Sean and how allegedly Sean had been fired for inappropriate dealings and or conversations
with a minor.
With minors and such. Again, we cannot attest to the veracity of these claims, but they're all over the internet. They're all over TikTok. They're all over Reddit. And so Tyler's sister actually made a TikTok and she confirmed a lot of this information. Now, I didn't see it. Maybe you have. You can tell me what she said. But it doesn't seem like she likes Sean or this entire situation. And I think she's worried, as well as a lot of the peripheral friends, even in the poly community. Yeah. A lot of these people are worried about Alicia and Tyler's children, Raina and Duncan, or Dylan.
Yeah.
Sorry. Raina and Dylan, like these people around them are actually legitimately concerned, and we're going to actually talk about that more in the after show because there has been a document leaked.
Yep.
And we don't know if it's real, but if it is, it's wild.
It's really messed up.
Yeah. So I don't think the sister likes what's going on, but she is showing up either for the cameras or to support her brother.
She's probably just there for the kids and like probably just there to like maybe keep an eye on it or like just be there in case like the kids need a foster parent or something. Like she's probably there only for the kids.
Like a safety net.
That's what I would do. Like if I had like not troubled, but like if I had a family member that was associating with abusive people or whatever, like I would still be in contact purely to be there for kids.
Right.
I wouldn't give a crap about the adults in the situation because like after all of this stuff, when we talk about it with Sean and everything, I hate all of these adults.
Yeah, I don't like any of them.
I hate literally all of them. I think they're all terrible people.
Especially when we get into the document, like if that's true, if this is something that was received by Tyler and Alicia, like
they're horrible.
What are you doing? And then Raina getting into the van with Sean at the end of the night. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But this entire thing is a huge red flag.
Huge. Massive red flag. And then we have the little sip and see party for baby Q or whatever. We have Taya's mom showing her support.
Who looks like Taya's sister.
I mean, it's super weird.
She looks really young, or Taya doesn't look that young.
And apparently, like, Taya's family is, like, super supportive of her lifestyle. Why? And I just don't understand it. And she's like, her family is there for all the other adults because all the other adults have, like, broken families. Like, we don't see much of Sean's family. We see some of his weird coworkers.
Well, he left them all, allegedly.
Yeah, exactly.
All of his children and all of his previous 2 or 3 wives.
Yep.
As it's being alleged.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Kelsey, who's Tyler's sister, who was the one that was making the TikTok, confirming a lot of the claims that we'll discuss later on. She's there, and she doesn't look happy to be there.
No.
And Tyler asks her, like, where's mom, though? And Kelsey's like, dude, she doesn't want to be on camera, for one, and for two, she's only tolerating it because she wants to be in the kids' lives. She, like, doesn't actually support your weird freaking degenerate lifestyle.
Well, and the reason they're asking this question is, like the Browns, they have to constantly paint themselves as the victim. Like, in each clothing store they go into, in each interaction when they're playing dodgeball, whoever they meet when they're walking down the street, the people that they meet each day, they have to say, well, yeah, we're polyamory, polyamorists, or whatever you call it. We're poly. We're all together. I'm banging him. He's banging me and her. We're all banging each other. Like, that's too much information. Nobody, the nurse that's tending to Taya giving birth does not need to know about your lifestyle. Not everybody cares.
No, the lady that owns the freaking baby clothes store, like, doesn't need to know that you're buying baby clothes for your husband's love child.
I know. And then, of course, the producers are like, could you ever live that way? And every person interviewed is like, I'm too jealous. I'm too much of an actual human being that's sentient that I cannot do that.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you said last week, like, the people who are in polyamorous relationships that, like, actually probably have something healthy going on, or, like, they're actually trying to look out for the well-being of their children and, like, the adults involved, like, they're probably watching this show like, great. Now everyone thinks we're freaking weird.
Yes.
I mean, people already did think you were weird, but, like, I digress.
I never did. Maybe I never did. You're the one who has a hard-on for the polyamorous community, and I don't know why. No, but I'm just saying, like, you have, like, a bit of a grudge about it, and I don't know why. But, like, for me, it's like, I don't really have a problem. The reason I have such a problem with polygamy is because it's exploitative of women and children, objectively. But, like, if you want to be a grown-ass adult, and if you want to have multiple partners, and everybody's okay with that, and it's open, and everybody benefits, that's fine. I don't care. And if you want to even be married to multiple people and get the tax benefits thereof, I don't care.
Sure.
But if you're using polyamory, allegedly, in order to gain access to women and children that you can then take advantage of and potentially abuse and exploit, allegedly, not that anybody is, but if there were, like, that would be a situation that could be conducive to that kind of thing, which is what worries me. And it's primarily because of Taya and Sean. And I know you hate Alicia and Tyler because of what they are allowing to happen to their children. But these two, Taya and Sean, and
demons.
Demons, but Taya too. Taya is clearly running the show. She's clearly moving the pieces around the board.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of their impact on these children.
Me too. Yeah.
And again, I just have to say, sidebar, what were they thinking going on reality television? This is what narcissists do, though. They huff their own farts. They think it smells like roses. And they're like, let's get on television. But we're going to know all of your shit. When you go to the Polyfamily subreddit on Reddit, it is a dumpster fire.
It is insane.
Today, somebody made a post saying, this is my actual name, Taya. Read this post. Me and then all of these other people have had concerns about you. We've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
If you have a problem, like, you can reach out to me directly, and you're not suing me for defamation because you can't sue if it's true.
Yep.
These people are assembling, a cloud of witnesses is assembling to take these a-holes down. And I live and I laugh and I love.
I love it so much because it's so ridiculous. Like, we're literally only 3 episodes into this series, and all of this stuff has come out, and it looks really
compellingly
true.
It looks true. We wouldn't know.
No,
all alleged.
It's all alleged, but
it looks damning.
The more stuff that comes out, like, at first I was a little skeptical because it's like Reddit, like, you can't always you can't always take it for what it is, but the more shit that gets leaked, the more I'm like, oh my God, like, why are these people on TV? It's crazy. I think it's because of Taya, because Taya was the one that like created their family TikTok page.
Right.
And I think they got pretty popular on TikTok. Like, you know, TikTok is a wide, huge dumpster of just crazy stuff. Like you have access to like people of all walks of life and all different types of lifestyles and things like that. And polyamory has become pretty popular on there. And I don't want to say like popular as in like people are promoting it, but like more people are willing to share their polyamorous lifestyle, their stories and everything. And I think Taya and them have gotten really popular. She's got a huge following on Instagram. And so if she's a true narcissist, of course she would want to go on TLC and like make a bunch of money off of it.
She thinks it would all translate to reality television. Well, guess what,
Girl.
bitch? It does not translate. It is not looking good for you out here in these social media streets.
Maybe
nor should it.
You should clean the skeletons out of your closet.
Maybe you should get rid of Sean.
Yeah, for real, before you go on TV.
Why would you be associated with this guy?
No, with this disgusting.
We said this in the after show last week, but we didn't say it in the general pod, so let me say it this week. That in the first episode, they gave the ages for Tyler and Alicia. And I think Tyler was like 36, Alicia was 34 or 32, something like that. They didn't give Sean and Taya's ages, but people looked it up. And Taya's like late 20s.
Yeah, like 27 maybe or something.
Sean is 46.
Yeah, disgusting.
So they've been married for 6 years?
Something like that, yeah.
So Taya was 2021, I think. If the numbers are adding up, I don't know exactly. But 20 or 21, and he was 40, 41, 42 when they got married.
Yeah. Ew.
We had the whole conversation about grooming and what that is and did this apply, and we talked about it last week. But like, why, Taya? Why are you with this person when you have heard, allegedly, the things that have been said about this man, and you know that he covered up the name of his children, biological and stepchildren, that he had tattooed on his arms with those bum-ass, dumb-ass, dark-ass lion tattoos.
I know.
And by the way, Alicia, you know that he covered up those names too, and so do you, Tyler.
Right.
These are the names of his children, and he's willing to just disavow them and disown them and pretend they don't exist on reality TV, and you're okay to have this man live with your children? What's wrong with you, Tyler and Alicia? There's something fucking wrong with you.
They literally don't care, because I think Tyler just wants to fuck Taya. And so like,
then he's worthless.
He's a piece of garbage.
He's worthless on our planet.
He's a piece of garbage. And that's why I hate Tyler and I hate Alicia, because they're putting their kids in jeopardy, allegedly, with Sean and his big ass head.
Big head now.
And his big old belly.
Oh my God. At the dodgeball, when he's like walking around.
Girl!
He was weeble wobbling.
I know.
He was literally weeble
because
wobbling.
Because he can't walk normally.
No, he can't. I'm sorry. I'm calling it out.
I
like,
know.
Who are you to judge anybody? Walking around with your angry face, judging everybody, mad all the time because allegedly you have a little penis.
Oh, little pee-pee, yeah.
Allegedly you have a little penis and are bad in bed.
Yeah.
And so you have a vendetta against Tyler, who's dicking down your legal wife and is probably way better at it and can father children. You useless piece of crap.
I know. He is the worst.
No offense.
Full offense.
Alleged.
But after the whole sip and see party, this is when we have the conversation about breastfeeding, and we have Alicia like with her little pumps on her titties, and then Sean being the stupid man-child thumb of a person. He's like, what? You want me to massage your breasts to help with lactation like you're a cow? Like, should I milk you like you have udders? I'm like, you are 46.
He's a misogynistic piece of crap.
Yes, of course.
Like, that's demeaning
when
to
you
say.
Look like that.
Yeah, and who the F do you think you are
really
talking to her like that? But like, he's making a joke, but he's actually degrading her.
He is.
But previous to that, when they were all out in the kitchen living room area and Alicia was broaching the subject of potentially trying to lactate, it was Sean that was the one was like, what are you talking about?
That's weird.
That's weird. No, you're weird.
Yeah.
And everything you're into is weird.
You're
and you
a
look
weirdo.
weird.
Yep.
And your life is weird.
And you
and
smell
it's weird
weird
that God made you.
Yeah.
That's weird. But you're standing there telling
For real.
Alicia that, you know, her wanting to bond with this baby is weird. And she's like, are you trying to get me not to do it? And he's like, no, it's not that. It's just like, you know, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
He's mean.
Yes.
He's a mean person and he's a misogynistic piece of crap.
Yep. I hate him. And then we have, I guess Tyler and Taya went to Quentin's like first doctor's appointment. And so they come back.
Yes.
And I guess Tyler, shared the results, like the lab results, in their family polycule degenerate group chat.
Degenerate group chat.
And Tyler, being a dummy, but I don't think he was being dumb. I think he did this intentionally.
Mm-hmm.
He sends the lab results that include Quentin's blood type.
Right.
In the family group chat. And then Sean, I think, texted either in the group chat or separately to Taya.
Directly to Taya.
And said, well, I guess we know who the father is, ... because baby Quentin is O negative blood type. And Sean, because he's dumb, says that 2 parents that have B blood types can't produce a baby with an O blood type. So then therefore Tyler, because Tyler's O negative, I think, as well, is the biological father.
So before we get into whether that is correct or not, let's address the fact that it's Sean that is the one that keeps saying, I don't want to know. We don't want to know. Right. We don't want to know who the father of any of our children are because we want to parent them equally. And yet he goes out of his way to summon the oracle of Google and look up blood types and whether it's possible that he could have a different blood type and be the father of Quentin. And so he took it upon himself to do that. He could have just done nothing and stayed ignorant and had no idea. But no, he went and looked and he found some website that said he couldn't possibly be the father if Quentin has O negative. And now he's pissed off because he thinks Tyler did it maliciously.
But like, he's also stupid because if you Google it, can 2 parents with B blood types produce O negative baby? Google AI literally says, yes, it's possible. So it is possible.
Right.
But I think he's just implying, and maybe this is all for the show, that Tyler did this maliciously to share the blood test results in the family group chat because he wanted to reveal the fact that he is Quentin's biological father. I mean, this was alluded to earlier in the episode when everyone's like, oh my God, he's got a cowlick like Tyler. Oh my God, he's got dimples like Tyler.
Well, and I don't know how many times per episode somebody has to say, well, things are kind of tense right now between Sean and Tyler, so this is not going to help things. I'm like, yeah, we get it.
We get it.
You're setting this up for the entire season.
Yeah.
You know, my lips to God's ears that there's a fist fight that breaks out and Sean gets his ass beat by Tyler. This is what I'm hoping the culmination of all of this effort is for.
I would love
Beat his ass!
For real.
Drag him!
And honestly, I mean, I can see genuine tension being between Tyler and Sean because they're each fucking each other's woman. Like, duh. This is why polyamory has jealousy. Like, this is why this is like a problem in the dynamic. Like,
but I don't remember who mentioned how it was one of the women mentioned how they struggled in the beginning of the relationship, the 2 women, because there were issues of jealousy and Alicia didn't want to know things.
Yeah, that was Taya.
Remember Taya and Tyler stole away together and banged on a day that was not theirs. And so there were issues. And so they worked it out and now everything's okay. But like, how come it's okay though for the 2 guys who made them work it out to not work it out in their own relationship?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because it made it uncomfortable for the guys.
Yeah.
Your problems, women, make it uncomfortable for me to slip it in.
Yes.
And so figure that out so that I'm more comfortable. But when it comes to me and my jealousy and my hatred, you know, I'm not going to work it out. I'm going to make everything tense in the household.
Well, and I think Sean said like last week something like, you know, me and Tyler's relationship comes last. And so we just like, therefore don't work on it at all. And I'm just like, okay.
How does that make any sense?
If you're like co-parenting and stuff, like, shouldn't you work on that?
You're raising children together.
Like, grow up. Especially if Sean's the big age that he is.
Almost 50.
I mean,
he's almost 50 years old.
Come on, but you're waddling around like a big old baby.
Big old Humpty Dumpty having head.
I know, it's so ridiculous.
No brains in that head. This is not a brain trust we are dealing with here.
Not at all.
These 4 people.
And so because the lab results were leaked, Sean has a chip on his shoulder because he's mad that he believes that he's not the biological father. But I'm like, anybody with eyes and a brain could have told you that. Like, we all knew it. I knew it on episode 1 that you weren't the biological father because I know you ain't sticking it in because your pee-pee small. But anyway.
Can't get in there.
Then we have the whole family.
Can't rub it around. Can't move it around.
Can't do nothing.
Can't do anything with that little Vienna sausage.
Do you even know you have it?
I know.
Can you even see it?
Can you imagine?
Is it hidden in your belly button?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yikes.
And so then the whole family goes to some community
dodgeball
event.
Okay.
Which I'm just like, what community has a dodgeball event? Whatever. Family goes there with the kids and balls are flying.
And Sean is targeting Tyler
on purpose
with all the balls.
He's still mad.
And he's trying to hit Tyler.
Yeah.
And then he gets upset and angry at something. I think one of the kids step forward and take a ball and hit Sean with it.
Yeah.
And he's out.
He cries about it.
He becomes a big 400-pound baby. And he weeble wobbles out of the gym and pretends to go care about Carver and Butters. What's his name? Barrett.
Yeah.
Carver and Barrett, because he's throwing a fit. And ultimately he's like, I gotta go. And the boys have to get home early. And it just so happens I don't want to be here. So I'm going to put them all in the van and I'm going to take them home. And then he does. And as he does, I notice Raina is in the van.
Yikes.
With Sean and the two little boys.
Yep.
And I'm like,
I hate
why?
That. Yeah.
Alicia, why?
I don't get it.
If the document that we are going to discuss in the after show is accurate, and or even if it's not, if you've heard from these people that surround your community that Sean is allegedly some kind of a predator, why would you send your 10-year-old daughter home with Sean?
I don't get it. That's why I hate them. That's why I hate Alicia and Tyler, because I'm just like, if you know all about this and you're choosing to believe Sean, because Sean's probably telling them like, no, it's all unfounded. Like, no, it's all a lie. I would never do that. And you're allowing your kids to be alone with this disgusting, perverted, allegedly
predatory,
gross, smelly, predatory, allegedly
mean to your kids,
controlling,
doesn't let Tyler talk to his own biological daughter, and you allow it.
Yeah, disgusting thumb of a man.
Yeah,
I hate you.
Yeah, like, I hate you too.
I hate all of the adults in this situation.
Tyler, like, be a man. Are you even a man?
No, all he cares about is being a sub to Taya and having Taya step on him. Like, that's like all he cares about.
Okay, but Alicia, where's your mothering, nurturing instinct to take care of your children?
She cares
Sean
more
would never do that. He would never. Okay, well, that's what every mother says who introduces some unknown man into their family and into their home, and he inevitably takes advantage of a child. That's what every mom says.
Yep.
Piece of crap.
I hate them.
Yeah. Ooh, this is dark. This is
very
really dark. And we have to ask the question, TLC, why? Like, why inevitably are you platforming abusers and predators allegedly, but like the Duggars of it all, the Kate Goslins of it all.
Yep. Even Angela and Mike.
Angela, oh my God.
On 90 Day Fiancé.
Angela Dean is awful.
Yep.
The Cody Browns of it all. And the kids. And like, why is it always our perpetual issue? Like, they don't vet these people. Do you not do background checks on these people? Some of these people on 90 Day Fiancé, absolute dregs of humanity who actually abuse other people.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to platform them and we're just going to pretend this is not happening?
Yeah, I know. I don't get it.
They need to get their asses sued.
Oh, for sure.
These kids need to find an attorney who can represent them, and there needs to be a class action lawsuit against TLC.
Well, and in the case of Polyfamily, I'm like, these kids should be taken away. Like, honestly.
Well, and apparently authorities have been contacted repeatedly, allegedly have been contacted all along, like as far back at least as 2016. If the document we're going to be talking in the after show is correct, like they've been informed of what's been happening.
But we know the authorities suck. Anyway, freaking Sean waddles his way out in his minivan with the little kids and Raina and takes them home.
Why Raina? Wasn't Raina having fun? Raina was playing. She's 10 years old. There are other kids there.
I don't know.
Why has Raina got to go?
I have no idea. But he leaves, and Tyler feels bad about making Sean angry.
Beta.
But I'm like, you're such a loser. Up. And then Taya like cries a little bit or something. And then that's the end of the episode. And then we have a preview. We have Taya's birthday party because it's all about her apparently. And things are still weird between Sean and Tyler. Oh, shocker. And then Taya feels like she's missing something because she can't eat a box. Can't eat Alicia's box. So she is setting the stage for wanting to find a female partner so she can eat the box.
Yeah, because there's that scene where they're in a boat that's a hot tub and she leans over to try and kiss Alicia, and Alicia's like, absolutely not. No, thank you.
I mean, I wouldn't want to kiss her either.
No.
Disgusting. Mm-mm. And then Tyler goes to dinner with his sister, Kelsey, and she's concerned for him because he technically doesn't have any legal rights to baby Quentin. Mm-hmm. And I guess they're all like trying to concoct a way where all 4 of the parents can have legal rights to the kids.
I don't think that happens in the world.
I don't think that can happen.
I don't think it's possible legally.
And then Sean and Tyler have their own dinner together where they talk about the blood type thing and parenting issues and paternity, which is kind of interesting.
Well, and Tyler says something like, well, you don't need to parent me here. Like, I know what I'm doing. And Sean says, well, maybe if I did parent you, we wouldn't have this problem. The way he'd be eating a knuckle sandwich.
I know.
The way I'd be curb stomping that Humpty Dumpty thumb of a man.
For real.
Oh my God. Your life would be over. You Nothing
have
violent.
Allegedly 5 other kids that you like didn't parent and you abandoned.
And you want to lecture us about parenting?
When you have no job?
Yeah.
What a loser. Allegedly.
Well, apparently at the Sip and See, there was a coworker of Sean's that was there.
Yeah, but was it a former coworker?
From like 2014 when he was a shift manager at AutoZone. Yeah. Something like that.
AutoZone.
Yeah.
For real.
There's nothing wrong with that, but he doesn't seem like he aspires to much other than food and fucking.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's it. So
we hate him.
We should go into the after show. And
so is there anything else that we need to say to these beautiful raccoons before we get up on out of here, Beatrice?
Well, if you love our podcast, please be sure to go to your favorite podcast platform and leave us a glowing 5-star review. Really helps us grow the pod so we can get more people in the dumpster. And if you want to see the after show and all of the vitriol we spill in that, join us on Patreon.
Yes, we will be back next week to continue our conversation about sister wives and polyfamily. Until then, please don't forget that we have nothing but love for you, and peace out.
Bye.